There was a recent discovery of a fragment of a book called The Infancy Gospel of St. Thomas, which is a collection of short anecdotes or stories about the childhood of Jesus. The discovery validated the existence of the book and its authenticity. The problem that most people have is whether or not the collection of stories are true. I had never heard about it before the discovery, so I sort of looked into it myself. The stories don't paint Jesus in the best of light. His behavior is aberrant and disagreeable. In most of the stories, he's a little arrogant, and that doesn't really fit with the way most Christian religions depict Jesus. So a lot of people, I think, use that disharmony between the infancy gospel of St. Thomas and the religious description of Jesus that we know today. I did find out that the book has been highly read and highly regarded over the centuries, but there is no original manuscript and validation across different biblical libraries. It's up for you to decide whether these stories are true or not. They do make sense to me, and I do believe they are real and authentic based on a couple of things. Number one, there's no flow or harmony to the story. It is almost like maybe St. Thomas was sitting down with Joseph and or Mary, and they were just sort of relaying the stories that they remember about Jesus to St. Thomas, and he was just acting as a scribe. That to me makes sense. Number two, let's just say, disagreeable aspects of Jesus' behavior going back to when he was very young makes sense to me, because during this reading, I noticed that there was evidence of divinity in Jesus all the way through these anecdotes, but it seemed unmanaged, which makes sense for a young person. Jesus was divine incarnate, but he was also growing and maturing the way young people do. And to me, I feel the authenticity of the infancy gospel lies in the foibles that we see in Jesus' behavior. As you read through this, you can see that Jesus goes from being pretty wildly out of control in some ways to being much more in control. And that just makes sense to me. I would rather learn from the Gospels that we have in the current Bible, the message of the adult Jesus, and just sort of be informed about some of the possibilities of what he did when he was younger. Each of the stories in the infancy gospel of St. Thomas does reflect divinity, this sort of precocious child of Jesus. I would encourage you to read it and make up your own mind, but just factor some context into the stories. And do they reflect a young person coming into their own?